Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Betting Insights. I am Timothy alongside Sergio again. Sergio, welcome.
Hey Tim, what's up everybody?
Yes, welcome back, everybody. As you know, we are giving out picks for 5 different club competitions across Europe: Serie A, La Liga, Premier League, Eredivisie, and the Bundesliga. We are doing this weekly. We are heading towards the end of the season, so summer break for a while, but let's get to it this week. Now, quick recap last week. Now, last week for me was actually great, right? Especially Sunday. I picked West Ham, I picked Crystal Palace, Barcelona, Real Madrid. We both had over 3.5 goals. Uh,
Yeah,
I think Dortmund, Leverkusen also over 3.5 goals. Now, Feyenoord, PSV, I think I had Feyenoord over 1.5 goals. I'm not sure what your pick was for that game, but overall, good weekend. So we'll
yeah,
do
it's a good
give
weekend
that
for
up.
me also. I also, yeah, for me it was just two games that actually, spoiled it for me. It was Chelsea, they
Yeah,
lost against
that,
Newcastle.
yeah. To make it even better for me, did I tell you to not pick Chelsea? I told you take Newcastle, right? Didn't I tell you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
All
yeah,
right. Okay.
yeah. You did, and also Pack Swallow, go ahead Eagles. It was a draw, so
Yeah.
go
Now I
ahead.
have to say,
Actually, it was those two.
and I also have to say, at the end, two teams which I was like, okay, these teams should be a lock to win: Ajax and Napoli. I combined them in a two-game parlay, but none of them won. So, but we'll get to that and we'll recap everything. All right. Now, this week we are starting with the Bundesliga, and first game on the schedule: Hoffenheim hosting Bayern Munich. Hoffenheim wins set at 5.25. Bayern wins set at 1.54. Line for total goals set at 3.5. Now, obviously, Bayern already champions. Hoffenheim, they could get relegated if they lose and Heidenheim were to win, but Heidenheim would have to win big and Hoffenheim would have to lose big. So basically, only thing Hoffenheim has to do here is make sure they don't get smashed by Bayern. So what are you looking at here?
Bayern, I don't think Bayern is going to win this game. They're already champions. They partied a lot. I don't think they did a lot of training the last week. So I'm maybe a draw for Hoffenheim, but I would go for a double chance against Bayern. So just go for Hoffenheim. Bayern has nothing to lose anymore, so they
Yeah,
already won.
and obviously, I like the double chance for Hoffenheim, but there's something I like even more. That's Hoffenheim plus 1.25. You can get that at 1.81, so that's almost 2-1 for Hoffenheim plus 1.5. So 1.25, sorry. So that means they would have to lose the game by 1 goal or a draw, or if they win, it still cashes either way. So like I said, Hoffenheim, all they have to do is make sure they don't lose big, and they will defend like hell. So I can't see them losing by 2 goals or more. And honestly, I like your pick. I could even see them winning this game, but I think the smart bet is taking Hoffenheim plus 1.25 because there's also a lot of value there. All right, let's get to the next game. Dortmund hosting Holstein Kiel. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on this game because Dortmund winning is sitting at 1.09.
Yeah,
The total goal is sitting at 3.5, but the over 3.5 is sitting at 1.38. So basically nothing in this game. Dortmund, sitting fifth right now. They should win. Frankfurt and Freiburg are above Dortmund. And for good for Dortmund, those teams are facing off. So with a win, they pass one or maybe both with a draw or something. No, with a draw, I don't think they pass Frankfurt, but they would get in the top four and book the ticket for the Champions League. So Dortmund's winning this game. No bet here, right?
yes, yes, of course. Dortmund, they won't. I don't think they'll drop points against Holstein Kiel, so must win for them.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Augsburg hosting Union Berlin. Augsburg wins set at 2.12. Union wins set at 3.6. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, none of these teams really playing for anything. Overall, Augsburg had a slightly better season, but towards the end, seemed like Union was playing a little bit better. But they lost 3-0 to Heidenheim last week. Um, I think that should carry over a little bit here. So in these last games, I'm just gonna back the home team and the better team. Augsburg on a 3-game losing streak. You're at home. You don't want to finish the season on a 4-game losing streak. So I'm on Augsburg here. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I'm looking more at a draw here. Union, the last 6 games, four of them were also a draw. So it looks like they always settle for a draw. So yeah, I'm not that confident Augsburg is gonna win this game. So
Yeah, I like Augsburg here. Not one of my favorite picks, but like I like Augsburg here. I just think at home, after a 3-game losing streak, you want to finish the season on a high. But obviously, Union, like I said, none of these teams are really playing for anything. So Union might also want to finish the season strong and, a draw possibly. All right. Next up, Gladbach hosting Wolfsburg. Gladbach wins set at 2.2. Wolfsburg wins set at 2.85. Line for total goals set at 3.5. Now, in this game, my gut says a draw. I'm leaning Gladbach here, so smart play, Gladbach double chance, because I don't think Wolfsburg's winning this game. They've been bad, bad, bad for a while. I think they already packed their suitcases, looking booked their vacation, so I don't think they're up for this game, especially on the road. What are you doing here?
yeah, but the last 6 games, they yeah performed the same. Four losses, two draws. So it looks like a draw again. Yeah, and both teams not playing for anything anymore. So difficult to say, but I would go for the home team.
All right, I'm joining in that one. Next up, St. Pauli hosting Bochum. St. Pauli wins set at 1.6. Bochum wins set at 5.5. Line total goal set at 2.5. Obviously, Bochum already relegated. Can't do anything. St. Pauli safe, survive. Another, let's say, another season in the Bundesliga because 32 points. They're leveled with Hoffenheim, so Heidenheim would have to win really big. Hoffenheim would also have to win. I don't think Heidenheim can really surpass St. Pauli. The goal difference is just too much. So basically, St. Pauli is safe. At home here against Bochum, like Bochum, even when their backs were against the wall, they couldn't win. So obviously now they're not winning on the road. I'm backing St. Pauli here. What are you doing?
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. I'm also on Napoli. Bochum, yeah, already relegated, like you said, and I don't think the players are still motivated. So yeah, St. Pauli wins.
All right. Next up, Heidenheim hosting Werder Bremen. Heidenheim wins set at 2.35. Bremen wins set at 2.85. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, Heidenheim, they kind of won somewhat big last week, 3-0 against Union, and they have to win again here to make sure they have a chance. And they just have to wish, hope, make sure that Bayern also takes care of business against Hoffenheim, which we don't believe they will, but still, Heidenheim has to hope for that. Now, Bremen, they have somewhat of an outside chance to climb up into the top 6 spot. Leipzig will have to lose. Mainz also has to lose against Leverkusen, but the goal difference also not in Werder's favor. So I don't think they really believe they can get into that top 6. I'm gonna back Heidenheim here, the home team that's really playing for something. Good odds. What are you doing?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. It's the last straw for them. So you just know they're gonna give everything, and rather not so much uh, an away game. Yeah, not their best games. So I'm backing Heidenheim also.
All right. Next up, Freiburg hosting Frankfurt. Freiburg wins set at 2.4. Frankfurt wins set at 2.88. Line for the goal set at 2.5. Now, top four spot at stake here. Like I said earlier, now Dortmund, they can't surpass Frankfurt. Um, but they can surpass Freiburg. Now, Frankfurt, they basically only have to make sure they don't lose this game. So a draw is enough for Frankfurt, and they've booked a top three spot. Freiburg just they have to win this game to keep Dortmund under them. So Freiburg will go out in this game. Um, I'm looking at the over 2.5 because I believe Freiburg will really pressure Frankfurt, but I don't think Freiburg can keep a clean sheet here against Frankfurt. So I like the over 2.5 goals. What are you doing?
Over 2.5, that's an option. But no, Freiburg is, they're playing at home, so it's this is gonna be very, very interesting because if you look at Dortmund, Dortmund has how many points? 54. So Freiburg, they really, really need to win, and Dortmund, if they win and they're gonna win, they'll come on the same amount of points as Frankfurt.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but Frankfurt will still be fourth then.
No, I think if Freiburg were to win, now Freiburg surpasses Frankfurt, so Freiburg becomes third. Frankfurt fourth. Now, if Dortmund were to also win, Dortmund could become fourth, but the goal difference, Dortmund Frankfurt, is kind of big. So Dortmund would really have to smash Holstein Kiel, or Frankfurt would have to lose big against Freiburg, maybe possibly both. So it's a slim chance Dortmund surpasses Frankfurt.
Yeah, so it's more urgent for Freiburg to win. So, and they're playing at home. I don't know. I'll just go for Freiburg. Just a gut feeling. Freiburg is gonna win this one.
And
But
listen, man, I would tell you, I understand that big. If you look at the last 10 games, Frankfurt, they've not been playing well. So now they're going on the road where they haven't won in 4 games. And basically the last 10, they've only won two against Ajax and against Bochum. And this man, we know Bochum's already relegated, and you can see what's happening with Ajax right now. So Frankfurt not in great form. So I understand the Freiburg pick.
yeah,
All right, next up, Leipzig hosting Stuttgart. Leipzig wins set at 1.86. Stuttgart wins set at 3.75. Line for total goals set at 3.5. Now, Leipzig, seventh, leveled on points with Mainz. Mainz is facing off against Leverkusen. So, Leipzig, to book a Conference League ticket, they would need some help from Leverkusen. But Stuttgart not playing for anything because Stuttgart 47 points, so they obviously can get up to 51 in this last game. So obviously urgency on the side of Leipzig at home. So it seems like a trend here. The teams that their backs are against the wall or are playing at home.
yes.
Are we
So
going for a home team again here?
yes, yes, of course. You can't go anywhere else because and also Stuttgart, not a great away team this season. So yeah, you just have to go for Leipzig.
Yeah, no, they haven't been bad on the road, but Leipzig has been more than solid at home. I think they've only lost in 3 games at home. Now, two in the Bundesliga, and the Champions League, they lost three. So, um, Bundesliga only 2 losses. That's a very solid record at home. All right. Next up, Mainz hosting Leverkusen. Mainz wins set at 2.28. Leverkusen wins set at 3. Line for the goal set at 2.5. Now, same thing here. Mainz backs against the wall somewhat. Leverkusen, they're second. Whatever happens, they will finish second. Mainz has to win to keep Leipzig under them, or maybe even if Kiel were to upset Dortmund, which we don't think. But If something crazy were to happen, they could even get up to fifth, but that's a long shot. Mainz, backs against the wall. They have to win here. Home team, are they winning?
Yeah, against Leverkusen. Yeah. And Leverkusen, of course, they got a beating from Dortmund last week at home. So yeah, uh, I would just go for Mainz again. I think I'm going for Mainz.
Yeah. Me also. Um, although Leverkusen, they didn't perform bad against Dortmund because they actually dominated possessions and shots on target. So um, again, Dortmund had like 5 shots on target, scored 4 goals. That's kind of unlucky for Leverkusen. But they've not been playing well for some time. So on the road, I'm not gonna back Leverkusen. I'm also gonna go with Mainz. All right, that wraps up the Bundesliga. Let's get to the Premier League. First game, Everton hosting Southampton. Everton wins set at 1.42. Southampton wins set at 8.5. A line for the goal set at 2.5. Now, listen, man, Southampton obviously already relegated. Everton not playing for anything. These odds are kind of too low for me for a team that's not playing for anything. So I'm
Yeah.
not I'm not on either team here in this game. Are you doing something?
No, I agree. I'm going the same way.
All right. Next up, West Ham hosting Forest. West Ham win set at 2.9. Forest win set at 2.55. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, I'm on Forest here. Last week, I was on West Ham. Although I had, before the game, I had a slight change of heart where I was like, could United win this game? Because you almost convinced me United could win that game. I told you United, they would lose out. And for a couple weeks ago, they would not win a single game in the Premier League for the rest of the season. And so far, my prediction has been right because they lost again against Chelsea. But all right, that's a different story. Let's get to this game. Nottingham Forest, 7, 2 games left in the Premier League. So they could basically still get into that top 5 spot while West Ham not playing for anything. So I'm going to back Nottingham Forest here. They've been a better team all season. I know they're on the road. Don't be fooled by West Ham's win over United last week. United's trash. So give me Forest here. What are you doing?
Yes, but United at home, you still thought, but against a team from London, you think, they'll be a little bit more motivated, but no, but still, nothing seems to motivate that squad anymore. But on the other hand, Forest, pretty bad shape the last 4 weeks. Can't seem to to bring what they had the whole season. It's starting to fade away, I think. So I'm uh, I'm hesitating.
Well, I'm not. I'm on Forest. Now, you talk about Forest the last 4 weeks. If you look at West Ham, the last, what's it, 8 weeks, like I said, I get it. They won against United last week. Congratulations. All right. Before that, a draw against the Tottenham team that's already given up, a Brighton team that was out of form, a draw against Southampton. Does it get any worse than that? A loss against Wolves, a draw against Everton. So it's not like West Ham is just lining up the scoreboard here and beating teams. So I get it. Nottingham Forest not in the best shape, but against West Ham, they should win this game.
Yeah, but a draw against Leicester at home,
Yeah, yeah. All right. I get it. That wasn't a great performance, but that's like the only game in that 4 game stretch where you can point out, okay, they didn't really perform how they were supposed to. Because before that, on the road against a Crystal Palace team, that's in the FA Cup final. So that's something. Crystal Palace obviously playing and against Manchester City um, this weekend. Before that, a loss against a Brentford team that's not great, but has been performing well this season, and a loss against Manchester City. So the draw against Leicester City is like the only result where you can just poke a hole at, right? While if you look at West Ham, a draw against Southampton, I think that's worse than a draw against Leicester City. And then, like I said, a loss against Brighton, draw against Tottenham, loss against Wolves. So Uh, I like Nottingham Forest much more.
Okay, but I'm on West Ham, so we'll see next week then.
All right. Next up, Leicester City hosting Ipswich. Leicester City wins set at 2.33. Ipswich wins set at 3.1. Line total goals set at 2.5. Now, Leicester City, they won 2 weeks ago against Southampton, and we basically said that was their only chance to actually win a game for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Against Ipswich at home, still, I don't think they're good enough to win this game. Um, Actually, I'm on Ipswich here. I was leaning more towards a draw, but I'm on Ipswich here. I think Ipswich beats Leicester City. They've been better. What are you doing?
I want I want Leicester. I'm gonna go for Leicester. I'm going the other way again. Yeah, no, I'm Leicester. I think the end of the season, the pressure is off. They know they're already relegated. It's like their mind is free now, and a win, a
And the,
draw.
the, the, the pressure's been off, right? The pressure's been off when they were on a 7 game losing streak at home.
No, no, the
So,
pressure is still there.
no, the
But
pressure was already
but
off.
now they're sure they're relegated. So I think it's different. So
I'm just gonna ask you quick. Do you know who the coach is for Leicester City?
yes, still the same.
Okay, okay, okay. All right. So you have confidence in that guy.
Now, yes.
All right, all right. No, not so much. All right. Well, I guess we'll see next week. But obviously, I'm not on Leicester City. All right. Next up, Brentford hosting Fulham. Brentford wins set at 2.02. Fulham wins set at 3.7. Line total goal set at 2.5. Brentford on a 4 game winning streak. They've beaten some good opponents. Brighton, Nottingham Forest, United, not a good opponent, and then Ipswich. So last 2 games kind of iffy, but still a 4 game win streak. While Fulham, 1 win in the last 5, only against Southampton. So Fulham not finishing the season on a high, and a Brentford team that's been very good at home this season. I'm gonna back Brentford here. Right, they had a rough stretch in the middle of the season at home where they basically couldn't win a home game, but they started the season well at home and now 2 straight wins at home again. So I think this will be dirt. Give me Brentford. What are you doing?
Yes, I'm gonna agree with you on this one. Yeah, um, Brentford at home. Yes, I think they'll win this one against Fulham.
Next up, Arsenal hosting Newcastle. Arsenal wins set at 2.04. Newcastle wins set at 3.85. Line total was set at 2.5. Now, Arsenal, 4 games with, no, what's it? Five. So 5 games without a win. And they're actually in danger of falling out of the top 5. Now, it may be a long shot, but still, 68 points and Villa just won. So Villa now on 66 points and fifth. So I get crazy things would have to happen, but there's a chance Arsenal falls out of the top 5 and doesn't play Champions League. So now that would be something. I don't think it will happen because I think they will win this game after a 5 game losing streak. You have to rebound here, bounce back against a Newcastle team that sometimes really disappoints on the road. Last 2 road games, not great. A draw against Brighton, and they just got washed by Aston Villa 4-1. So I'm on Arsenal here. What are you doing?
Yeah, I agree, and the pressure is on for them now. Like you said, they can lose second place, so I think this game is very important for them still. So yeah, I'm playing at home, so yeah, I'm going for Arsenal.
All right. Next up, Brighton hosting Liverpool. Brighton wins set at 2.7. Liverpool wins set at 2.55. Line for the goal set at 3.5. Liverpool obviously already champions. Brighton not playing for anything. Um, I'm just gonna back Liverpool here. I can't really make a case for either team. I'm just gonna back Liverpool because they're better, and I guess towards the end of the season, you're the champion, so you still want to prove that, yeah, you're still good, and just don't want to finish the season on a losing streak. They haven't won in back-to-back games, a loss against Chelsea and a draw against Arsenal. So I'm just gonna back Liverpool here, but really hard to make a case given the fact that they're not playing for anything. What are you doing?
Yeah, Chelsea and Arsenal were actually good opponents. Brighton a little bit less. So I think they'll recover their form against Brighton.
All right. Now we have some Tuesday games: City against Bournemouth and Crystal Palace against Wolves. Now those games are on Tuesday because obviously City is playing against Crystal Palace, like I said, in the FA Cup. Uh, the Tuesday games, not sure about them. I'm just gonna wait and see what happens in the FA Cup against City against Crystal Palace. So maybe we can touch on that game. Do you have a winner there?
Yeah, I think for you know Crystal Palace, maybe I would go for Crystal Palace. This is a chance for them.
Yeah,
So
I would I have to say last week City. I don't know if their minds were on this game, but even if that were the case, I don't know how you draw against Southampton.
yeah,
I don't know how you don't score a goal against Southampton. So
yeah,
that was
that's the
pretty bad.
problem.
And I think Crystal Palace obviously a better defensive team than Southampton. So I do think Crystal Palace can frustrate City. So the odds are very good. You can even play Crystal Palace +1. That would still give you some great odds. I don't think City's running away with that game.
No, and for Tuesday, the one that loses the final, will win the game on Tuesday.
All right. Now, let's get to La Liga. First game, Osasuna hosting Espanyol. Osasuna wins set at 1.85. Espanyol wins set at 4.8. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, Osasuna, they're sitting at ninth right now, actually tied with Rayo, eighth place. They could still get up to the top seven if things go their way. While Espanyol basically could fall to 18 if things don't go their way. So both teams have something to play for. I think it's still a long shot for Espanyol to fall to 18. With Alaves still between Espanyol and Leganes, I have a hard time seeing Espanyol falling down to 18. So the urgency is on the side of Osasuna here, the home team once again. So I'm on Osasuna. What are you doing?
Yeah, I agree. Espanyol, oh, not four losses in a row, and mm, and they before those four a draw, so not in very good shape. You know, yeah, okay, losing against Barcelona, yeah, that can happen. But Leganes, Betis, Villarreal, also not the easiest opponents. So yeah, Osasuna seems like they're in better shape, but they're playing at home, so that's why I think they have the advantage. So
Yeah, and they're coming off a big win in midweek over Atletico Madrid. So, and obviously back-to-back home games. So that I think that carries over here. Give me Osasuna. And next up, Sevilla hosting Real Madrid. Sevilla wins set at 4.4. Real Madrid wins set at 1.77. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Listen, man, I get it. All right, Real, when they signed Mbappe, everybody thought they would run away with every prize. But come on, really? 177 against Sevilla, a Sevilla team that's not playing for anything. They they're sure to play La Liga next season. A Sevilla team that has not been great this season, a goal difference of -9, sitting 14 against Real. No, give me Real here, 1.77. These odds are too good. What are you doing?
yeah, but Real also playing for nothing anymore.
Yeah, but both teams are playing for nothing. So If both
Yeah,
teams are playing for
yes,
nothing, you still have to look at Real.
yes, but Real, when they were playing for something, they still lost against the teams that are lower on the table. So yeah, at the end of the season, n- nothing to lose anymore. Yeah, we'll see, but I don't think it will be an easy game for Madrid. I think so. Double chance, Sofia.
No, hell no. Listen, man, Sevilla won against Las Palmas in midweek, and that really assured them another season in La Liga. They had an expected goal of one. They won 1-0. Well, I guess good for them. But before that win, 9 games without a win. Pretty bad losses between Alaves a draw, Leganes also a draw. So and those games were at home. So Sevilla not a good team by any stretch. Even if Real doesn't feel the strongest 11, they should win this game going away.
Okay, we'll see.
All right. Next up, Barcelona hosting Villarreal. Barcelona wins set at 1.84. Villarreal wins set at 3.85. Line total goals set at 3.5. Now, neither of these teams are really playing for anything, right? Because Betis, I guess Betis could catch Villarreal. Let's see, 5 points. Yeah, okay. So Betis could catch Villarreal. So Villarreal has to pick up another point to make sure they stay in the top five. So Villarreal is playing for something. Barcelona, obviously, already champions, not playing for anything. So who are you going to here?
I was maybe looking at the over 3.5. Barcelona tends to score a lot, and I think Villarreal is gonna, think, oh yeah, they're gonna, uh, try to outperform the party boys because I'm pretty sure they had a good fiesta there in Barcelona. So I would maybe a double chance Villarreal.
Yeah, I'm going with double chance Villarreal. I saw how Barcelona's partying. No way they're sober for this game. Even today, I still saw some videos from Yamal. So they're not. They won't be sober for this game. Give
Yeah.
me Villarreal. Like I said, Villarreal. They still playing for something. Need to pick up at least a point in the last 2 games. You want to get that as soon as possible. Double chance Villarreal for me.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Next up, Celta. Hosting Rayo, Celta wins set at 1.75. Rayo wins set at 4.5. Line to the goal set at 2.5. Now, Celta 7, Rayo 8. Um, so Celta also now 4 points above Rayo and Osasuna. So Celta needs 2 more points from the last 2 games to make sure they secure a top 7 spot. Now they can get up to 5 and they also can get up to 6. So um, they would, you're at home, just win this game and you're safe. Rayo's not been a great road team, so Celta in the last couple of games, I know they lost against Real and against Barca. Before that, also a bad loss against Espanyol, but that could happen. But aside from that, over the last 10 games, they've been solid. So at home here, I guess they're winning against Rayo. What are you doing?
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Just go for Salta playing at home. Really need the points. So yeah, Salta win.
All right. We're both on Celta. Next up, Valladolid hosting Alaves. Valladolid wins set at 6.1. Alaves wins set at 1.61. Line for goal set at 2.5. Now, Alaves, they're sitting at 17 here. Real Valladolid obviously already relegated. So, not a lot to say about this game. Alaves, you need you're 4 points above Leganos, so you need 2 more points to secure safety. Listen, man, you're playing against the worst team in the league. No better spot. Give me Alaves. What are you doing?
Yeah, yes, of course. And I was thinking the over 2.5, but Alaves, not a very high scoring team, so they would just one or two goals, and it's good for them. So yeah, But I think Alaves is gonna win also.
All right, next up, Las Palmas hosting Leganes. Las Palmas win set at 2.95. Leganes win set at 2.43. Line for the goal set at 2.5. Now, number 18 and number 19 facing off here. Yes, man, these teams, they can't afford a draw, right? Especially Las Palmas. They have to win both games, and obviously Las Palmas would have to hope that Alaves doesn't pick up another point, otherwise they're done. Leganes, they would have to win both games and hope and Alaves and Espanyol or Espanyol and drop some points. Like I said, a draw doesn't benefit either team, but I think it will be a draw, right? Because both of these teams they're really gonna play to win this game. I can't see a winner here. What are you doing?
Yeah, I agree. I also don't have a bet for this game. I also think it will be a draw.
Next up, Mallorca hosting Getafe. Mallorca wins set at 2.06. Getafe wins set at 4.2. Line for total goals set at 1.5, which I totally get because Getafe, 5 straight games without scoring a goal right now, and Mallorca also 3 out of the last 5 games they haven't scored a goal. So if there's a game that's going under 1.5 goals, it's this game. Basically, I could see a 0-0 draw. At best, a 1-0 win for Mallorca. Um, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I'll go for the 1-0 win for Mallorca. I think Mallorca at home. Getafe, yeah, really, really bad. At least the last 6 games. So yeah, I would go for Mallorca.
All right. Next up, Sociedad hosting Girona. Sociedad wins set at 2.1. Girona wins set at 4.1. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, Girona, after winning, they also secured safety. None of these teams really playing for anything. But I'm still gonna back Sociedad here because they've been on a bad run, 6 straight games without a win, 4 straight games without scoring a goal. And we know Girona, not a great team. There's a reason they were in danger of dropping into the relegation zone. They beat Real Valladolid 1-0, but that doesn't say anything. Other than that, they've been really bad on the road. So give me Sociedad here at home. What are you doing?
You're going for Sociedad. Yeah, I understand, but yeah, but my gut feeling says, no, I don't think this game is really important for these two. So yeah, maybe a draw also.
All right. No, the game's not important, but I think Sociedad, after losing so many games, you just want to get a win towards the end of the season. Although it won't mean much, but you can't finish the season with 8 straight games and not winning. Especially a team like Sociedad, they had higher hopes at the start of the season.
Yeah, yes, I'm sure they did.
All right. Next up, Atletico Madrid hosting Betis. Atletico wins set at 1.9. Betis wins set at 3.9. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, Betis, that's a team that's, um, I think they're basically stuck at 6, right? So they would have to win both games, and they would have to make sure Villarreal loses both games to get into the top 5. I don't know if they really believe that will happen. How much do they go out in this game to beat Atletico Madrid at home? Simeone said that he wants to finish the season strong. Well, it didn't look like it in the road game against Osasuna, but
Yeah.
here at home, I guess he will ask his players to respond. So I'm gonna back Atletico Madrid here. Real Betis also in the Conference League final, so they also have other things on their mind. What are you doing?
Yeah, backing Atletico Madrid or just over 2.5. Both of them very interesting out, but I agree with you. I think Atletico is gonna win.
Next up, Valencia hosting Bilbao. Valencia wins set at 2.23. Bilbao wins set at 3.85. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, Bilbao, they're sure of a top 5 spot, right? So whatever happens, they will be playing Champions League next season. Valencia, they have to win this game and the last one because if they win this one, they tie Rayo and maybe Osasuna if Osasuna were not to win. And then it comes out to the last match day. So Valencia, they have something to play for. Again, the home team has something to play for. Bilbao, not so much. Valencia, I know they lost against Alaves on the road, a really desperate Alaves team. But before that, Valencia was in really good form. So I think they can bounce back here against Bilbao. I'm gonna back Valencia. What are you doing?
Yeah, yeah, I'm also backing Valencia. I also Alav is like a mistake. Yeah, so yeah, but I also think that they really want to at least the last home game of the season finish it with a win. So that would be boost the confidence for the next season when everything goes to zero again. So I'm on Valencia.
All right, next up, Genoa hosting. Sorry, that wraps up La Liga. Let's get to Serie A, kind of jumping the gun.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Genoa hosting Atalanta. First game, Serie A. Genoa wins set at 4.9. Atalanta wins set at 1.75. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, Atalanta also secured a Champions League spot with the win in last week. None of these teams really playing for anything. Atalanta, obviously the better team, but I'm not sure how motivated they will be in this game. I'm looking at both teams to score here because, like I said, Atalanta not playing for anything. So I could see Genoa getting a goal here. Both teams to score sitting at 1.81. But not really backing either team for a win here. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm still on Atalanta, but I agree with you, the over 2.5. Nothing to play for, but yeah, and so why not go out and have a little bit fun? So, but I still think Atalanta's gonna win.
Yeah, like I said, they're the better team. All
Yeah.
right. Cagliari hosting Venezia. Cagliari wins set at 2.6. Venezia wins set at 3.05. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now Venezia 1 point above Lecce. So they're desperate. They need points. Cagliari, 33 points. Not really safe just yet, but it would be a long shot for Cagliari to fall to 18 because you got Verona and Parma and Venezia under you. So Lecce would basically have to win both of the remaining games. Venezia would have to beat Cagliari here and also win their last game, and then Parma and Verona would have to at least pick up another win. So I think it's a long shot for Cagliari to get relegated, but at home, I think they will make sure Venezia does not win this game. So I could really see a draw here. What are you doing?
No, I'm going for a win for Cagliari. I think they want to make absolutely sure nothing goes wrong. So yeah, and against Venezia, yes, very good opportunity to secure everything. So I would go for the win.
Yeah, and obviously Venezia winless on the road. So if there's any chance to win a game for Cagliari, this should be it. All right, next up, Juventus hosting Udinese. Juventus wins set at 1.37. Udinese wins set at 9.5. Line total goals set at 2.5. Now, Juventus also they have to keep winning to make sure they stay into that top four while Udinese not playing for anything. Um, like I was kind of off Juventus the last couple of weeks, but they somehow managed to draw both games, which is good for them. Was bad for my pick, but still, now they're at home against Udinese, a team that's not playing for anything. I think they will win this game. What are you doing?
Yeah, no, I'm not so sure. I'm still not trusting Juventus in this one, and also, yeah, the odds are not really in favor. So, yeah, I'm gonna skip this game. I don't think Juventus is gonna win.
You don't think they're winning at home against Udinese?
Nah. I mean, yeah, it's really not that important for them this game. So yeah, I just think yeah, maybe a draw, but oh yeah, maybe. I think it will be a draw. I don't think Udinese will win also.
But Juventus, they're tied on points with Lazio, right? So I know Lazio's facing off with Inter, so small chance that Lazio wins. But you can also have Roma, that's 1 point behind in Juventus. So Juventus, they have to win their last two games to make sure they qualify for a Champions League spot. And the coach all but guaranteed a Champions League spot. So they have to win this game.
Yes, but even if they win, the odds are just
Yeah,
too low
yeah, I
to
get that. I
risk
get
it.
that. I get that.
Uh,
All right. Next up, Hellas Verona hosting Como. Verona wins set at 3.45. Como wins set at 2.23. Line for goal set at 2.5. Now, we were right again last week. We both picked Como, and
yeah,
now it's six straight wins for them.
yeah.
Now, can they make it seven? Now, that would be interesting against Verona, that's also somewhat in the relegation danger. Verona not on a good run. Four out of the last five games, they haven't scored a goal. But with their backs a little bit against the wall here at home, I believe they can score a goal. So my bet here is both teams to score at 1.82. What are you doing?
I'm I'm telling you, I'm gonna roll the dice again. Just just going for Como. One last time. One last time for Como. Yeah, let's make it lucky number seven for them. So yeah, I want Como.
Right.
Como to
I'm not saying they can't win this game, but I think both teams to score is the better bet here. All right. Next up, Inter hosting Lazio. Inter wins set at 1.61. Lazio wins set at 5.5. Line for goal set at 2.5. Now, Inter 1 point behind Lazio now after Lazio's draw last week. So, Inter, they have to win the last two games and hope that Napoli slips up in one of the last two games. They're at home against Lazio. Now, with Napoli's draw last week, I think Inter, they just have to say, all right, it can happen. All right. It could happen that Napoli drops in some points again, and then you become champions, still have a chance to claim the double. So I'm on Inter here. What are you doing?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree, but I would play it safe and go for the over 2.5. Yeah, better odds also. So yeah, I think Lazio will definitely score a goal. I'm sure. So yeah, over 2.5.
I would agree there. All right. Next up, Roma hosting AC Milan. Roma wins set at 2.25. AC Milan wins set at 3.2. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, AC Milan, after losing against Bologna in the Coppa Italia, now they have an uphill battle. They face an uphill battle here to get into the top six spot. But beating Roma would be a start. Although I don't believe that will happen because Roma, after they switched coaches, man, they've just been great and they haven't lost at home. Basically, only two draws at home against Napoli and against Juventus. So, best case scenario for AC Milan, I think, is a draw. But I think Roma wins this game. What are you doing?
Yeah, I agree. I'm also going for Roma. They're playing at home, of course, and like you said, since Claudio Ranieri went there, it was an uphill. So um, I'm uh, I'm on Roma also.
All right. Next up, Monza hosting Empoli. Monza wins set at 4.9. Empoli wins set at 1.77. Line for zero goal set at 2.5. Listen, man, I hate backing teams that are just awful, but this is like one of the best spots to back Empoli. They're playing against the worst team in the league, Monza. They're sitting at 28 points, number 19. You, you just have to win this game to climb out of the relegation zone. and there's no better opponent you could wish for. All right, so give me Empoli here, 1.77. I think those are some good odds. What are you doing?
Yeah, you can't waste this one. Just go for Napoli. Like you said, it will be very interesting because Monza, of course, they know that they're not playing for anything anymore. So even though they're playing at home, but
Yeah, all right, and we're both on Empoli. All right, next up, Parma hosting Napoli. Parma wins set at 7. Napoli wins set at 1.5. Line for total goal set at 2.5 now. Parma also a little bit in danger of getting relegated. 32 points, only 4 points above Lecce with 2 games left. So Parma, they also need to do something. While Napoli, they just gotta keep winning to become champions. Which is why in this game, I like both teams to score at 2.08 because I do think Parma will get a goal here facing relegation. Um, what are you doing here?
yeah, I'll play it a little bit safer. Maybe the over 2.5 because I'm sure Napoli is gonna win. So if you give Parma a goal, I'll go for the over 2.5.
Yeah. All right. I also believe Napoli will win this game. And I have another bet which I will give at the end and a win for Napoli. But just a single bet for this game. I like both teams to score. All right, next up, Lecce hosting Torino. Lecce wins set at 1.88. Torino wins set at 4.75. Line for Torino set at 2.5. Now, Lecce, another team that has to win to climb out of the relegation zone. Um, now, Torino's a good opponent, so I'm not sure Lecce wins this game, especially with them being the lowest scoring team in the league, 25 goals, even less than Monza. So that's just pretty bad. But at home, I guess you have to favor Lecce here. But so I like them. I don't love them. What are you doing?
Yeah, and you just need to, you just need to risk it, They're playing at home. They really need the points, so yeah, why not?
All right. Next up, Fiorentina hosting Bologna. Fiorentina wins set at 2.8. Bologna wins set at 2.75. Line for two goals set at 2.5. Now, Bologna, they're sitting at 7 and could climb up to, they still could get into the top 4 spot if things go their way. But they won Coppa Italia, so obviously a Europa League ticket that's already booked. If things go their way, they win these games, they could get into a Champions League spot, a top 4 spot. I think it's a little bit of a long shot given who they're looking ahead in the table. As Roma, Lazio, and Juventus, you just have to pass all 3 teams. Fiorentina basically has to win both of the remaining games to even sniff a chance of an European football next in the next season.
Yeah,
So this game again, I'm looking at both teams to score scoring at 1.9 because both teams have something to play for, and if you look at the odds, it could easily be a draw. Um, I don't think it will be a goalless draw. So give me both teams to score at 1.9. What are you doing?
yeah, but I'll go for Fiorentina, because Bologna, they won the Coppa Italia. Players always are a little bit, less alert and less motivated. So I'll go for Fiorentina.
Now that wraps up Serie A. Last but not least, Eredivisie. Let's get to it. First game, Heracles hosting NEC. Heracles wins set at 2.75. NEC wins set at 2.55. Line for Turbo set at 2.5. Now, Eredivisie is kind of crazy, because
Yeah,
NEC they're sitting at 8 in that playoffs in a playoff spot, but Heracles they're sitting at 14, but also still have a chance to get to that playoff spot with 38 points. So, kind of crazy here. It's basically number 8 till number 14. They basically could all still qualify for that playoff spot.
Yeah.
Um, NEC obviously coming off a big win against Ajax 3-0. They followed that up with a 3-0 win against Breda. Heracles, of course, they lost 4-1 to PSV. Now, Heracles, they had a long stretch where they were unbeaten at home. That stopped against Feyenoord in the last home game. Can they start a new streak here?
Yes, I still think NEC is gonna win this game. So yeah, a playoff spot, on the line. So yeah, you can't ignore that. So I'm definitely on the NEC.
I'm also on NEC, but Heracles, for them it's a really long shot because and good for them that Sparta is obviously playing against PSV and Groningen and PEC are facing off, but still, and PEC and Groningen would both yeah, a draw would be the best case scenario for Heracles. Sparta would have to lose, Fortuna would have to lose, Heerenveen would have to lose, or and then NEC would have to lose. So for Heracles, it's kind of a long shot. I'm also on NEC.
Yeah.
All right, next up, AZ hosting Almere City. AZ wins set at 1.28. Almere City wins set at 10.5. Line total goals set at 3.5. Now, Almere City obviously relegated. AZ right now sitting fifth. Um, like is the fifth spot important for them because Twente could pass them with a win if Twente were to beat Ajax and AZ were to lose here. So does it matter if they're fifth or sixth?
No, it really doesn't. So no, I don't think it really matters for them. So
Yeah, so if they're not playing for anything, 1.28, those odds are just too low.
yeah.
All right. Next up, RKC hosting Go Ahead Eagles. RKC win set at 3.05. Go Ahead Eagles win set at 2.23. Line total goals set at 3.5. Again, neither team playing for anything here. RKC relegated unless they just win 100-0 and make sure Willem II loses 100-0. And Go Ahead Eagles, of course, they won the cup, so no playoffs for them. Um, Go Ahead Eagles is the better team, so all things given, I would go for Go Ahead Eagles here. What are you doing?
Yeah, yeah, why not? RKC, they already gave up. Nothing else to do. So Go Ahead Eagles, much better team. So odds very interesting also. So I would definitely go for Go Ahead Eagles.
All right, next up, Heerenveen hosting Feyenoord. Heerenveen wins set at 3.05. Feyenoord wins set at 2.18. Line for goals set at 3.5. Now, Heerenveen, they gotta win here to make sure they hold on to that playoff spot. Feyenoord not really playing for anything, so I'm not sure how Feyenoord comes out in this game fielding the strongest 11. Will they really try to win this game? Not sure. I would lean towards Heerenveen here because they've been good at home this season. They've been just bad on the road, but at home they've been really good. So what are you doing here?
Yeah, I think this game will have a lot of tension, because of course Van Persie was at Heerenveen at the beginning of the season. Now at Feyenoord, so I think he'll want to prove something. So I think he'll definitely find a way to motivate the players. And Feyenoord still a much better team. Pai Chow and a few others, they want to, be uh, you know, sold for a good price, maybe. So I think Feyenoord is gonna um, definitely go for a win.
Now the coaching is really an edge for Feyenoord because Van Persie he should know all the Heerenveen players, so he could if he's a good coach he could scheme up some things and make sure Feyenoord wins this game. All right, Sparta hosting PSV. Sparta wins set at 9. PSV wins set at 1.27. Line total goals set at 3.5. Now PSV they just gotta do one thing. make sure you win and you're
Yeah.
champions. Don't be Ajax from 2016. I'm not sure and Sparta baked the cake for PSV, but still, Sparta obviously also they could get into that playoff spot. Um,
Yeah.
and obviously PSV has a hard time keeping clean sheets. So even though I think they win this game, I think Sparta scores a goal and you get better odds. You don't want to bet PSV win at 1.27. So 1.48 both teams to score gives you a little better odds. What are you doing?
Yeah, I would agree with both teams to score. But PSV, it's a championship. They only need this win, and I don't think they'll want to, let it slip out of their fingers again, slip between the fingers again. So I think it will definitely be a PSV win. But both teams to score, yeah, maybe.
All right. Next up, Breda hosting Willem 2. Breda wins set at 1.91. Willem 2 wins set at 4.3. Line for Turbo set at 2.5. Now, kind of already said it, Willem 2 actually locked into that in the last in the playoff spot, relegation playoff. Um, they just have to make sure they don't lose in a 100 to nothing here. Um, so
Yeah.
I guess they will defend here. They could get a goal against Breda. Breda's still the better team, but so not really picking a winner here. Both teams to score may be a good way to go. What are you doing?
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, I think it will be a draw this game because yeah, none of them actually playing for something anymore, and Willem too, like you said, you know, don't do anything crazy, so I think they'll settle for a draw.
All right. Next up, Pack hosting Groningen. Pack wins set at 2.35. Groningen wins set at 2.95. A line for the goal set at 2.5. Now, both of these teams need a win to have a chance of getting into that playoff spot, which makes it very likely it ends in a draw. Because these teams are basically the same team. Groningen, 40 goals scored, 51 allowed. Pack, 41 scored, 51 allowed. So you don't get two teams much closer to each other. Pack 38 points, Groningen 39 points. So I guess it favors the home team, but that's about it. That's about the only edge. What are you doing?
Yeah, I won't, I don't think it's that simple. I still think Groningen is the better team. I just think that Groningen, they started to, play a little bit better, a little too late. So I'm still on Groningen. I think Groningen is gonna win this game.
Now, Groningen might be better overall, but Groningen on the road, man, I don't know.
Yeah, but I think there's a whole other thing on the line here. So they just really need this win. So I'm gonna put my money on Groningen.
They've won two
Well,
road games.
yeah, right. And their star player got a red card against Ajax, right? So
Yeah,
he
yeah.
wasn't playing. Yeah, so it's maybe a little bit more difficult. Yeah, but I'm gonna risk it. I'm still a Groningen.
All right. Now, Groningen, they won two road games this season against RKC and against Willem II, arguably two of the worst teams in the league. So, with
Yeah,
the
Paxwell is right up there with them. So
no, no, Peck's much better than RKC and Willem II. All right. Next up, Fortuna hosting Utrecht. Fortuna wins set at 2.8. Utrecht wins set at 2.5. Line for the goal set at 2.5. Now Fortuna, number 10 right now, so um, also still have a chance for that playoff spot.
no, no, no. But Fortuna they can't play the playoffs because they didn't get a license for European matches. So they
Oh,
can't enter Europe. So Fortuna won't play the playoffs. So I think FC Utrecht has a whole lot more on this game than the Fortuna. So actually, Fortuna's said our season is over. So my one is on Utrecht.
and I'm joining you there on Utrecht. And thanks for that information for
Yeah.
Fortuna. But still, I wasn't gonna back Fortuna. because they're iffy at best, and Utrecht and the last couple of games they haven't been great, and you want to make sure you finish the season on a high. So, and obviously, I would back Utrecht in this spot. All right, next up, Ajax hosting Twente. Ajax wins set at 1.33. Twente wins set at 6.5. Line for true goal set at 3.5. Now, Ajax, you gotta win. Make sure PSV does not win, which is a tough spot. But even if PSV doesn't win, I don't think Ajax wins this game.
Yeah,
No,
I was gonna say the same thing.
no.
I don't think,
It's just bad. It's
yeah,
really, really,
and
really bad.
and Twente, is a whole lot better than NEC and Groningen put together. So yeah, I think Twente is gonna, really, really make it hard for Ajax. And if teams do that, Ajax has a whole lot of trouble, even though they're playing at home. Doesn't mean anything. So yeah, I'm actually double chance Twente or maybe even a Twente win. And I think Ajax is just gonna crumble like you know.
Especially if it's halftime and like PSV is up 3-0. So
Yes, yes,
yeah, that is just over. So I'm just gonna
yes,
back Twente for a win here. The odds are just very interesting. Give
yeah,
me Twente for a win.
yeah, I agree.
All right, that wraps up the Eredivisie and that wraps up all picks and leans. Quick recap for the bets we really like. I have Real Sociedad for a win, Atletico Madrid for a win, Real Madrid for a win, Inter win, Empoli win. I'm gonna parlay Napoli and Juventus for a win. And I have something on Twente. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm going for Heidenheim, Freiburg, Arsenal, Liverpool win, Osasuna win, NEC win, and of course a Feyenoord win. But there are a whole lot of interesting games, like you just said. The Fiorentina, the Twente, Groningen, also Utrecht. So, but
Yeah,
the first 10 that I called are my bets for this weekend.
yeah. And I would have to say, just I also like teams like Mainz winning, Leipzig winning, Nottingham Forest, which I also explained. So a lot of interesting odds. I agree with you. All right, I would just say good luck, guys. Like we always say, bet smart, bet with your heads, set your limits, and stay within your means. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, good weekend, everybody.